Welcome, food travelers, and in this episode, we're starting off here in the Midsummer Festival of IKEA. They have this once a year, and it's a buffet style.
I must admit, Micah, that I actually haven't really eaten at IKEA. I think maybe once, and that was way long time ago. So it's been quite a while, but I never knew that they actually had a buffet offering. And kind of going through some of the research after we decided to go give this a try, I noticed that they have this one here at the Midsummer, and they also have another one that they offer during the holidays, I believe during Christmas time.
Yes, I mean, I believe they do have something during the Christmas time as well. So a little bit of information about this one is they do. In order to come to this Midsummer Buffet, they sell tickets and to buy these tickets, you must buy in person. I don't know why. I think it would have been a lot faster if they offer something where you could buy it online and then just show up that way. It's really old style of doing business there. So I do remember coming here, buying the tickets online. Then they asked me, oh, are you a IKEA member? If you're not an IKEA Family member, then the price was like $5 more per person. So at this time of recording for this episode, it was $19.99 per adult for the Midsummer Family plan pricing.
I think that's the purpose of them not selling it online. They're actually trying to get you into the stores, which apparently works because it was pretty busy when we were there. But kind of how IKEA, especially like the layout, if anybody's ever been to IKEA, you kind of have to snake through and go through different kind of sections of IKEA before you kind of get from kind of the display areas where you have all the different furniture and everything to where you actually buy stuff. There's a lot of it's kind of like a maze, like going through and just trying to, from start to finish, getting in and out. And this is probably the same thing in terms of the ticket sales. They're kind of making it that same concept, I suppose.
Yeah, it was really not fun for me because I didn't know where this restaurant was, right? Because I've also never IKEA before. I believe I've had like their soft serve ice cream at their cafe on the bottom floor around the checkout area, but I never been into the actual restaurant, so I had no idea where the restaurant was. And then I had to ask the staff where it was and how to get there. And that in itself was a navigation journey in itself. But eventually I found it. It was on the second floor for this Renton location, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, I really didn't have that much expectations going in. From what I remember, they added some new areas, which you said where this cafeteria was on the second floor. Last time I was there, didn't even exist, and the cafeteria was actually downstairs, and it was much smaller. But this new cafeteria is quite large and pretty interesting. But the one thing I do know for IKEA is they're famous for their Swedish meatballs, and so that was definitely an offering that they had. Kind of going in, I was kind of expecting, we've been to all these Vegas buffets, and I was thinking in my mind kind of that same concept for it. But it was kind of this cafeteria style. You go in line, and the line skewed pretty long, or it queued pretty long, and then you kind of go in one by one station and grab the things that you wanted. And of course, they had their variety of meatballs, which they had 3 different types.
Yeah, and I do notice that for their meatballs, they have like their plant-based ones, and they have the normal meat versions too. I also was expecting when we come to a buffet that everything will be open style, where you can go up and grab wherever you want. There wasn't going to be all these super long lines. Just going into the buffet or the restaurant itself was already like 20 minutes, even though we pre-bought our tickets. Everybody was given a set time, like either you show up at like I think 5, 6, or 7, or maybe it was 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. I don't remember the exact time on that one there, but I just know everybody queued up. It took a while just to get in there. and just to collect your tickets, and then you had the second line just to grab the food. I mean, sure, it's a buffet style, so you could go up multiple times, but then since you're waiting so long already, you're just trying to grab as much as you can.
Yeah, Michael, I think I believe we went to the very last kind of time setting, and I think it was 5:30 or 6:30, but we were at the last one, so I kind of can't really imagine if somebody who was there before and kind of going in line waiting, because at least it was, to me at least, felt like at least half an hour of kind of waiting as people went in and grabbed all the food. So I couldn't imagine really going for seconds because it took so long. I know for us at the end of the day, the lines did get shorter towards the end, but by that time, you've gone through, and at least from what I saw as we were watching people going through, I tried to grab what I could as much as I could. But one of the different things is the servers will behind the counters, they'll actually give you the food, and so you don't get to put as much as you typically would if you're able to self-serve at some other buffets. But in this case, at least there was enough to actually feel like you got a whole bunch of different things to try. But definitely going up for seconds, you kind of made you think, oh, do I want to go stand in that line again? Unless I wait till towards the very end before they were about to close the cafeteria and send everybody out. But yeah, that was the part where it was kind of odd.
Yeah, I think part of it was maybe food control or portion control to make sure that everybody had enough food, maybe. I'm not 100% sure there, but yeah. Some of the other things that I really wanted to try was their dessert section, but I mean, obviously, we were going to try the main stuff first. I didn't want to keep going up to the dessert buffet section to grab more food since the line was pretty long there. So by the time we went up to grab more dessert stuff, most of it was gone, from what I remember.
Yeah, I went to go check it out after you had came back with the desserts you picked up, and there weren't too much offerings left. There was just some strawberries that were there, and then some black licorice, as you mentioned, that was pretty full. I think they had some other licorice that people grabbed first, but there definitely was a lot of black licorice left, and then some cakes and some other things, but not a huge variety in terms of dessert wise. Some of the things that I kind of noticed, I did like the lagonberry jam, I believe that's what it's called, with the meatballs, and of course the meatballs were very good. So I can see why people actually do come to IKEA to come eat those meatballs, because they are pretty tasty. But for the most part, it just seemed kind of a cafeteria style food. I mean, not that 1999 was or 1995 was a huge amount, but you kind of thought they would offer like some special things, especially if you do it once per year.
Yeah, I kind of expected a little bit more from their buffet selection, but again, I don't have that much experience eating at IKEA. I kind of wish they would have like ice cream or soft serve. I mean, that would have been nice, especially on a nice summer day. Even with those berries or with the cake or something, that would have been a nice addition there. So something I did notice on this dessert table is they had something called like a elderflower drink or something like that. That looked pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I did not get to try it this time.
Yeah, they had the other drink that was more available too. It was the lagonberry juice, and I had that. I had probably 4 glasses of that, so I did enjoy that one for sure. But they really didn't have too much offerings in terms of other drinks either. It was either the lagonberry juice or water, and they did have this coffee station, but it was pretty much empty every time I went to go check it out to see if there was something. And the regular coffee was actually all empty. There was nothing left. They had all like the condiments and stuff, the sugar and cream and everything else, and the only thing I could find was decaf, but that decaf coffee was ice cold. and I didn't realize it after I poured it in. I didn't really pay attention, and then when I took a sip when I got back to the table, it was ice cold, and I kind of threw me for a surprise because I didn't realize that they pretty much didn't fill anything up.
So overall, I think it was a great experience just to try IKEA food. Will you try again, Simon?
It'll be a long while before I give it a try again, but it's not horrible, but not great.
And to wrap up the episode are our notables, and unfortunately for this episode we did not have any notables.
And to support our channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. And for more photos, follow us on Instagram. See you guys on the next episode.